Hello everybody, Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of Battlefield 2, patch 1.06. Today we'll be looking at a 2v2 on Tower Hills with 1,000 starting resources and random armies. So today we have Destroyer, myself as Mordor, which is one of my favorite factions to play. We have my partner, Nawis, I think he's my partner, well of course he is, as Men in the West in the top right. In the bottom right we have the Dwarven player BFME, which is on the opposite team. We have Casper as Mordor as his partner. So yeah, two Mordors. We have a Mordor versus Mordor over here, and we have a Dwarf versus Men. So this should be interesting. I am opening with a couple slaughterhouses, getting my economy going. The opponent, Mordor, is doing some scanning. I guess it's scanning. Scouting, that's what I meant to say, and I'm opening with a tavern. As Corsairs in patch 1.06 are probably the best start to go for. They're just so overpowered that really there's no reason not to go for them instead of orcs, but as you will probably see, I may be wrong on that front. And it looks like Casper is building his orc pit over here, very close to my base, right in the middle. Of course, going for Hollow Warriors and getting some phalanxes immediately. Getting a few tunnels. He's got his waypoint over here. He does want to capture the outpost, of course. As does my partner Nawis, is sending his guys over there. He's gone for Gondor soldiers in the barracks. So, like I said, I've opened with the tavern. I'm going to be open with Corsairs. The opponent is going to be opening with orcs, and he's getting another orc pit to keep the orc spam pressure on me. It's a good tactic. Orcs are not as strong in this patch as in other patches, but they're still pretty useful. I'm very used to the Rise of the Witch King 2.02 orcs, which are pretty tough. They would beat the crap out of these orcs, but these orcs are still useful. And we do have phalanxes and guardians now from the dwarves. Man of the West player used rally call on his guys, it looks like. Yep, his rally call's on cooldown. I have Sauron to scout, of course, and the dwarves threw down their rally call as well. And the other player has used his eye to scout, as you saw in the beginning. And now he's pushing in with 4 battalions of orc warriors, as opposed to my 1 battalion of Corsairs. So I'm highly outnumbered here, obviously. It's not the best. Sometimes Corsair start isn't the best because you can get a lot more troops, which can end up doing a lot more damage in the long run if you have a start with orcs, which are just so much cheaper. As you see, he's got tons queued up and ready to go, as where I have this one group of guys who are just going to try and defend my base by themselves. I don't think I even have enough for another battalion yet. Looks like I'm going for a barricade expansion on my fortress. I will be losing the slaughterhouse here, and probably that one there. Let's go over here. Looks like they're to fight for the outpost. No one's managed to take it yet. So the dwarves are overpowering the Men of the West, though, as dwarven units are stronger than Men of the West units in this matchup here. We do have some orc archers now. Will be pretty crucial for taking out these orc hordes. Orc archers are actually pretty useful for that. And this thing is also pretty nice for taking out orcs. So I'm going to be losing some structures here. I have thrown down an orc pit, obviously, to get those orc archers, and I'm throwing out a second one. Trying to push away the orc advances from the player Casper. Totally forgot who it was. Looks like Nawis is trying to push the dwarves back, doing a decent job. Although he does have some guardians on his western flank here, about to take out one of his farms. And it looks like I will probably lose this farm as well. Lost a decent amount of farms, which is not ideal. But my Corsairs are faster than his orcs, and I managed to lure a lot of his guys down this way. And obviously he doesn't want to let Corsairs run rampant in his base. I'm not using the Corsair firebombs because in patch 1.06 they're considered a bit cheesy and kind of against the rules of Game Ranger that people play by. Which is fair because they're extremely overpowered. unless you say it's a no rules game, people tend not to use those. We do have some Athelian Rangers, really helping keep the dwarves at bay here with the swordsmen. And those will be pretty crucial if he wants to survive. We have a big battle of Mordor between Mordor here. Mordor against Mordor, rather. Except I do have Corsairs, which are quite a bit stronger than Orc Warriors. See, Orc Warriors die very quickly. Just very, very bad. But I am highly outmatched here. I don't want to fight in melee combat with my Orc Archers here. So we'll pull back to regroup with some of these guys. And get a few other battalions as well. So I do have some Orc Warriors on the way. And now I'm starting to counter his spam with spam. A little more equal spam. He does have a Nazgul now. That is going to make a huge difference for his side. Immediately getting to level 2, almost 3. There he goes, 3 already. Despite killing a few Orc Archers there. And his run-through just obliterates my Archers. I'm going to need some pikes right away. I'm throwing down a Rojan Palace to do so. Try and get some of them. Dwarves are throwing down mine shafts all around the Men of the West base, though. And then he does have a Gloin. Gloin, as you might know, is very good at destroying structures. Once he gets this level 4 power, the Shake Foundation, that is pretty devastating against structures. And Nawis really needs to get rid of these mine shafts. They do have actually guys inside of them. So he'll want to get those out of the way, or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And it seems like this giant green blob is mine here. I think his Nazgul managed to get away. Pretty much unscathed, it looks like. He's getting some Easterlings. Doesn't actually have a whole lot, though. Looks like I managed to take out one of his Orc barracks here. Orc pits. And now I'll begin pushing south. I got my Nazgul of my own, as well as some Easterlings. So me and him are thinking similar things here. And Nawis is in a bit of a pickle here. As Galen is leading the charge. He's definitely going to need more of these Rangers. Dwarves brought a battle wagon, that would be absolutely devastating. Because there's no pikes here. Oh, there is some pikes here, actually. Still, if he could manage to maneuver around them, he would actually kill a lot of these guys. But he may just overpower them with complete brute strength, which is something the dwarves excel at. Looks like I'm pushing up this hill, trying to get to this Orc pit. I think that's his Nazgul there. I'm right into the middle of my guys, managed to kill a lot of them. Nazguls in this patch are just very strong. He's actually got 2 Nazguls. So that will be proving to be quite useful indeed. And dwarves also pushing in on my eastern flank here. That could be bad for me. And I'm throwing down a Mumakil pen. That is my answer to this aggression. And Mumakils are obviously very strong against pretty much everything. They're so good. Especially against heroes and orcs, though. Orc warriors stand no chance against Mumakil. Just walks right over them. Ooh, got a Menadale summoned by the dwarves. He's been racking up power points. And he will use that on my army. Pretty much killing most of my guys with it. I do have my Nazgul here, though. Trying to take out a few of them by getting some run through. But as you see, my army is pretty much gone here. Nazgul is forced to retreat. It looks like the men in the west have managed to get the forward mine shafts out of our region. I do still have a couple dwarf battalions in my base, though. Looks like I've sent my Nazgul to deal with it. Getting a trample on them. As you see, though, dwarves are very resistant to trample. They still have over half their health after being hit with a Nazgul charge while having Dread Visage on effect. So they're very resilient to trample damage. It's that's one benefit of being sturdy with a little dwarf, isn't it? I suppose so. Tom Bombadil's been summoned down somewhere. Not quite sure where. Right here. Partner has summoned Tom Bombadil to help me defeat these orcs, or these dwarves here. You honestly probably should use it over here. I think I would have been okay. Or over here, as that's a big army of Mordor. But summoning a Tom Bombadil on a couple of battalions of guys when I have some guys attacking it, maybe not the best idea. Still helpful. And, ooh, Gimli. Gimli out on the field for the Dwarves, and now Men in the West are in a lot of trouble. There's 2 Dwarven heroes, one of them being level 4. Looks like I've gone for the Barricade expansion, which is a very good power, especially for defending an area. And I will throw down that and use it for defense whenever necessary. Or whenever available, I should say. Am I getting a move kill yet? It is on the way. Also getting Easterlings and no Corsairs. Orcs maybe? Nope, no orcs. So we'll have a move kill on the field soon. Hopefully that'll turn the tide of battle. But my partner is in a lot of trouble here. So it may not matter. Although it always matters if I can knock out one of the players. Gimli overshooting his leap attack by quite a bit. If the Men in the West guys just move. So that was the power arrow volley, it looked like it. It's quite large. Or wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Never mind. He doesn't have arrow volley. Fair enough. I guess that was just like two of those long shots. There it is. The Oliphant. That should help me push south a bit hard. Much more effectively than I have been, as Moonkill and this patch are very good. In fact, maybe even too good. That's debatable, but I'm not complaining, as they are very strong against pretty much everything. They're weak to pikes, but not by a whole lot. Not like they were in patch 1.00, where you basically stepped on a toothpick and your Moonkill died. I used to hate that quite a bit. But now they're much more resilient. As you see, they still take a lot of damage, so they're not invincible by any means. And pikes are definitely scary. But yeah, looks like I'm trying to take out this orc pit here. Casper, he is continuing to pump out orcs here, but things are not looking good for him. But meanwhile, on the other side, the Dwarven player ME pushing forward on Nawis. Partner, and he's looking to be in a bad spot. Barrage taking down all of the fortress expansion things that were defending it, killing most of his army, and he does have a demolisher here, which is going to spell doom, basically. These things are pretty much unstoppable. And Gloin also using his Shake Foundation, doing lots of building damage. And he has deployed the demolisher. Looks like it is going to take down the fort there. Meanwhile, I'm pushing forward on Casper here. My Moonkill doing good damage to the fortress. Doesn't look like he has anything that can actually stop my Moonkill. You see the arrows actually do very little damage here. They're all targeting the Moonkill, but they're doing very little because they don't have upgrades. If they had fire upgrades, they'd be doing a lot more. But it looks like Nawis is about to be defeated here, which is bad news for me indeed. And there you go, Nawis has been defeated. Now it's just, I need to kill off Casper if I want to have any hope of winning this game. And you need to do it quickly. And I do take down his fort there. Now all he has left is a Herodgen Palace, and a Herodgen Palace is building. It's like the Dwarves are building Mineshaft over here as well. So I forced him to cancel that. And he has been defeated now. Now it's just the Dwarf ME versus Destroyer as Mordor. So we'll see who comes out on top here. Dwarves are looking quite scary though, as they do have a pretty sizable force with some good heroes and a demolisher on the way to my fortress. I have 0 troops over here at the moment. It looks like I summoned a barricade, trying to stop the demolisher a little bit, slow it down. Send my Nazgul after it immediately. I know how dangerous demolishers are. I've been defeated by demolishers quite a few times, especially when playing with Longcon. I've faced a lot of demolisher strategies, so I do know how dangerous they can be. They can also trample enemies when they walk over them, and like a movie kill. And it looks like I do summon a worm there to counter this. That is an effective way to deal with it, as worm does a lot of damage. Also knocks it up in the air when it gets summoned. So my troops are going east now. It'll take them a bit to get there. I do have Fell Beast. That should help a bit. It has a sphere ability, causing all of these dwarven units to scatter. And the worm is continuing to completely obliterate the dwarven army. The worm is always worth it, if you can get it. It's just so good. It can take out armies very, very nicely. It can take out structures very nicely too. Except for the fortress. It's not very good against the fortress, I don't think. But everything else, pretty much. And now the dwarves. Oh, my Fell Beast is actually in a bit of danger here. There is a. Well, I was gonna say, if these were Menadale should be targeting these this Fell Beast. The Fell Beast would have been in danger. He's just now switched to target. But I think it'll be okay. It seems my Fell Beast is still alive since I still selected. Now my Moon Kit was pushing forward, as well as my army. My army is looking pretty small though, gotta say. One Moomakill is not going to be enough to take down this fort, as there's just tons of axe towers. Can't tell if those are upgraded axes or not. Looks like they are. So he does have the axe upgrades, so those axes do extra damage. As soon as they focus fire this Moomakill, it'll start taking a lot, as well as his pikemen. It looks like my attack is going to fail here. Which is going to leave me a bit defenseless. It looks like I'm at least trampling all those axemen. Quite get an attack on the forge works like I was hoping it looked like. Yeah, I do have a very wounded Fell Beast, and that's about it really. Don't have much else. Looks like neither of us really have much, so I'm going to fast forward a bit. Just cut a bit of time short out of this. Whoops. Camera freaked out there for a second. But we didn't miss anything. So my Fell Beast is getting a bit cocky. I need to get it out of there very quickly. Looks like it's stuck on this tower somehow. Can't actually fly away. Also taking damage from these little goblin archers. Those little bastards. Yeah, dwarves quickly making a new army here. Very strong, sturdy warriors. I do have a new Moomakill, it looks like. I've also summoned a barricade in the past to try and slow him down a bit. And I don't know if I actually have a good enough army to defeat his. Looks like Gimli is coming in. Although he quickly runs away as he's being chased off by the Moomakill. Moomakill can easily kill Gimli. All he has to do is charge Gimli, and Gimli will fall. Moomakills are that strong. If you're ever looking for a way to counter dwarves in your Mordor, that is the way to go. Immediately build yourself a Moomakill if you have the money. But yeah, it's looking the dwarves are overpowering me here. Even on tainted land, I don't really have the troops necessary. My Moomakill is way out of position, as is my Fell Beast. Fell Beast is actually attacking this goblin cave, which is not ideal. Probably because I attack move my entire army, and then I got caught on that. Happens sometimes. I do use attack move quite often. The better players, I would imagine, don't use select your whole army and attack move as much as I do. But I'm just not good enough micro to actually micro everyone around, so I find that useful. Although things like that will happen. And the fear going off from the Fell Beast, causing a bit of terror among the ranks of the dwarves. Oh, will I be able to get this Gimli, or Gloin, I mean. It's like I knocked him down. The best way to actually attack a hero with a Moomakill is just walk over it. As you see there. I did trample him just by walking over him. I didn't know how to use the charge ability, and he did that much damage. Oh shit, a mighty catapult shot. Taking out a big chunk of my army there. Whatever was remaining at least. Didn't actually have much there, but seems to have done the trick. And now the dwarves are looking to clean up my army here. And my base is pretty much undefended at this point, so my macro is terrible. I have not been building troops. Let's take a look at my money. Or at least spending the money as I get it, somewhat. I have 800 command point limits, and I have those powers there. 8 power points remaining. Dwarves have Earthquake. Oh. And Barrage, in fact. And speaking of which, there goes my base. Oh man. Earthquake is so brutal. And then followed up by Barrage. Will that be enough? Not quite. Leaves the fortress pretty much at nothing. This orc pit pretty much at nothing. I'm not even building trolls out of there, so really, looks like I'm about to lose my base here. I do have a small southern base where I've been pumping out catapults a bit and some Easterlings, but I don't think that's going to be enough to actually stop the dwarves here. Summon the worm again. Seems to be doing a good job keeping the dwarves at bay a little bit. And Nazgul's running for his life. Or his undead life, or whatever he has. But yeah, even Gimli's having trouble with the worm. Even on Slayer. It looks like he is fast enough to get away from that fire breath, though. He does not want to get caught by that, as it would have killed him. And my worm actually taking out my own farm there. It does do friendly fire, so you have to be careful when your worm attacks. Ooh, magma cauldrons. I'm going to clean up whatever melee troops are around my fortress. Always a good fortress upgrade to get if you're having a fear of some melee troops coming to attack you. Or unupgraded at least. Once they start getting buffed and upgraded, it won't kill them, generally. Take a lot of life off, but not kill them. And this looks like it'll be the end of my fortress here. Those axe swords will definitely secure the victory over that. And that troll cage will follow suit very shortly. And it looks like this is my last hurrah here. 3 catapults and a couple of Easterlings. It's not quite going to be enough to take down a dwarven base, I don't think. As I really, really need a lot more than that. I guess we'll see how it does, though. I'd imagine 3 catapults is not enough to take down a fully upgraded dwarven fortress. As these things are just pretty boss. And I'm not even targeting the right thing at that point. And unfortunately there are dwarves here. It looks like I'm firing corpses to try and scare off the dwarves. Doesn't seem to be helping much though. Oh, that one worked. I think there's a cooldown between how often this fear can go off. As you see, it hits a second time but doesn't actually scare them. So I think there's a cooldown on the fear. Yeah, it did a small chunk of damage to the fort. Dwarves probably have rebuild though, so really... No, he doesn't. It's close to getting it though if he needed it. Of course he won't need it, as he cleans up the rest of my forces pretty easily there. And I think this is going to be GG very soon. All the dwarves have to do is converge on my last structures here. To just about lose my builder. Or at least one of my builders. I do have 2. And here they come to finish me off. The sweet release that I desire here. That looks like I'm demolishing my own fortress or my own buildings here. And yeah, that will be GG. So ME will win the game here. And Destroyer has been defeated. So I lost. It happens. But well played too, the dwarven player ME. Definitely outplayed me there. And yeah, I at least killed my guy. Dwarves killed his guy, and then he killed me. So yeah, it happens. And well played to everyone in that match. And hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you in the next cast of BFME II. See you next time.
You cannot hide. I see.